Hello again everyone, I'm Sint. Welcome back. You might not be aware since it has never been covered in the channel, but I have played games like Honkai Star Rail as well as Genshin for a long time. Today, we're talking about Wuthering Waves, a game in the gacha space that just released and how you can set yourself up for success with a few simple ideas that will make your account feel incredibly strong as you progress through the game. I will also do my best to not spoil anything, so every footage that you'll see is from either side quests, open world content, or very early in the tutorial section. If you insist on going completely blind, that is fair enough, just treat the video as mostly of a podcast to hear in the background. Also, I apologize in advance, I'm a little bit sick, so my voice might sound a little bit weird in the next couple of videos. So, apologies in advance. Without any further ado though, let's get into it. Teams in Wuthering Waves are made out of 3 characters, meaning you should aim to get 3 characters as strong as you possibly can before investing deeply in other characters. Personally, I think leveling different characters up to level 20 is not a big loss, and this might even help you have a feel for the character and how they play, if you make a better decision of what characters you like and which ones you don't. After that though, I would recommend you find yourself a core set of characters you like how they play and how they look, and run with them until you feel like you are comfortably clearing through the content. For me personally, my core team is Encore, which I pulled from the 50 pull beginner banner, Jianshin, who I guaranteed from the beginner banner after the 50 pulls, and finally Baiji, an all-around great healer and solid support character. After these, I eventually plan to upgrade Shanhua as an offensive support for whenever a healer is not required. Keep in mind, while leveling the character's level itself is very important, having a solid weapon at a good level is equally as valuable, especially for damage dealers, so do not neglect their weapons. Another thing you can also focus on are echoes, which you can upgrade, leading us to our next tip. Echoes are the items that you can find while out in the world fighting enemies. Some will leave behind this golden outline of themselves. Interacting with them will add them to your databank and can be used to add stats and set bonuses to your characters. These are the gear pieces from similar games. Although it might be tempting to farm these to try and get a piece that will carry your team early on, this is very much not recommended, and is one of the major mistakes people can make. Due to the way the game is set, you are not able to get high-level echoes until later on, meaning the ones you can farm will be easily replaced once you get to higher world tiers. The only exception to this are the legendary enemies that can be found around the world. There is only a few of these and they are very high level and extremely difficult and time-consuming to take down, so it's probably not recommended. Especially because there is no guarantee that once you kill them, they will drop an echo with good stats to begin with. Keep in mind, when I say do not farm these, I mean the instances that reward you echoes and consume some of your wave plates to do so. Going out into the world, killing enemies and trying to get their echoes can be sometimes worth doing early on, in particular when you are farming union levels, and mix it with exploration, treasure hunting, and doing side quests. At certain points throughout the game, you will be required to reach a new union level before you can keep progressing the main story quest. If you need help with union level, there are a few things to look out for that you can consider. Firstly, doing your daily quest will reward you with a massive amount of union XP and can be done in 15 minutes. After that, Milestones also reward you with some Union XP whenever you finish one of them. A big one is defeating each world boss for the first time. These have a first clear reward that gives you 500 Union XP for each of them. The good thing about this is that you don't need to spend your wave plate to loot the chest in the middle. Simply need to defeat the enemy and you get the first clear rewards. Also, every single one of these has given me their echo whenever I fought them, and these seem to be some of the strongest echoes you can get for your characters, so I highly recommend you go and do these sooner rather than later. After all of that, if you still need Union XP, it's a matter of simply going and doing things like side quests, companion quests, or exploring, and you should be able to get to your required levels fairly quickly. At Union level 20, you'll be given your first Ascension mission, leading us to tip number 4. If you played games like Genshin, for example, before, this will probably be something you're familiar with, but whenever you finish your Ascension quest, the world will ascend with you. This will increase the rewards you get from all over the world, but at the same time increase the difficulty of enemies you will encounter. For this reason, if you ascend your world too soon, before your characters are prepared, you'll find yourself struggling to kill enemies that previously presented no challenge whatsoever. My recommendation for this is to simply make sure your characters are at the max level that you can possibly get to before ascending. This can take some time, especially if you are working on a variety of teams at the same time. Also, it's especially important for your damage dealers to have an up-to-date weapon to go alongside their character levels. If you are trying to progress through world levels as quickly as possible, you can also just focus on a singular character and make sure all of their levels, skills, and weapons are as strong as you possibly can, and disregard any other characters. This is a viable option, however it comes with clear downsides. If ever that character dies, you are basically playing with no party, and will most likely have to withdraw, to heal, or restart whatever content you're doing. If you are familiar with games that have gacha mechanics, this will not come as a shock, but the premium currency used for pulls for characters in the game is heavily front-loaded, making it seem like you can always pull for any character. If you fall into this mistake, you can easily end up with a set of characters that don't work together and a team that is entirely dysfunctional, making for a terrible experience. For that reason, I would recommend a couple of things. Firstly, never spend Astrite, our premium currency, on the default banner. This banner will always be available to you, and eventually you'll collect all the characters that are available on it. Instead, save them for the limited character banners that will be available, and optimally have a look at the characters and consider if it makes sense to get them for your account or not. For example, if you pull for the current character Jinyen, it probably won't make sense for you to get another main DPS until you get yourself some decent support and enough DPS to go with them. This, of course, is from an entirely strategic point of view for your account, and I would always say that you should focus on going for characters that you like the aesthetics of, rather than following the meta. This is also heavily alleviated due to the fact that Wuthering Waves has already given us a 5-star selector, and we are getting another one on the 26th of May, making it incredibly easy for you to get a great team from the get-go. That is all that I've got for you today. I hope this was helpful, and if so, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Let me know in the comments below how your 50 initial pulls went, and did you get the character you wanted, or did you not, as well as any other Wuthering Waves content you'd like to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.